What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Cinema Essentials. The episode is called Bluff, and since Scofield and Sucre got thrown into solitary confinement, cell number 40 is completely empty. The guards are planning to sell out another inmate, so T-Bag and his crew are playing poker to get money to get their cell back. That's why they gave it this title. Bluff is a term used when you're scheming, pretending, and bluffing. Alright, if we're ready, let's start Season 1, Episode 18. I'm your host Theo, by the way. When asked who he was, he said, "My name is Michael Scofield. I met you not too long ago in Gen Pop. Officer Bellick put you in my cell. I have tattoos, and you seemed interested and drew some pictures. Don't you remember any of this?" Haywire came closer, looked carefully, and asked if you are the one who stole my toothpaste tubes. While the two were talking, a nurse came to give medicine. Haywire took the cup and drank it, but Scofield said, "I'm feeling better, I don't want to drink it," and refused. So the nurse called for a guard. When the guard arrived, he was forced to drink the medicine whether he wanted to or not. After the guards left, he spat out the pill he had hidden in his mouth. He went to Haywire and asked, "Do you remember drawing those tattoos? Can you draw them again now?" But Haywire was acting all crazy and confused. While Bellick and Geary were talking, Scofield went crazy and became a J-cat, and Sucre was also stuck in solitary. About the cell situation, it's like a standalone house in the Golden Hills. If we rent it out as a single room for about a month, we should get a good price. "Let's auction it off," Bellick told Geary. When an inmate came to look at the cell, he said, "It's cool in summer and warm in winter, a middle-floor cell. There's no profit just standing around looking, you only benefit if you rent it." After negotiating the price, they settled on $200. Looking inside the cell, they noticed the sink was leaking. Geary said, "Don't worry, I'll fix it within 24 hours. T-Bag, who was waiting outside and listening, heard there was a cell sale going on and asked how much it cost. When told it was Scofield's cell, he was told, "It's not available anymore. The price has been settled." D.B. Cooper showed a picture of a little girl in a locket to Sucre, telling him about past events. When T-Bag arrived, he said, "Hey guys, there's going to be a problem. The cell sale has happened. I heard they're going to fix the leaking sink. If they fix that and find the hole, we're screwed," he warned them. C-Note asked Geary if the sale was still available. He said it wasn't anymore, but, "I'll pay you double what you got." When Geary said $500, C-Note replied, "No problem, cool," and left. In the psych ward, while making little figures with breadcrumbs, Scofield came to clean up and took Haywire to another cell. When asked what they were doing, Scofield said, "You have something stuck to your teeth, open your mouth." Scofield stuck 2 fingers in and made him vomit up all the pills he had swallowed. "I'm helping you. Remember those invisible pills they call? They were controlling your mind with those little pills," Scofield told him. Haywire didn't say anything back and just left the room. While talking to LJ on the phone, when asked why he did it, LJ replied, "These people will always win. I wanted to take at least one of them down, so I did it." Lincoln, knowing that besides the murder charges for his mother and stepfather, there was now also attempted murder, called Veronica and told her to help as much as possible to keep the case from getting bigger and to avoid prison time. Paul Kellerman was driving somewhere when 3 cars blocked the exit, trapping them. Samantha got out of the car, and a 16-year-old kid, who looked like a pharmacist, Lincoln's son, arrived at the house and shot with a gun. "We're giving you a warning. Don't do anything more regarding Lincoln's case. We'll handle it ourselves. You're no longer someone who works for the Secret Service. From now on, you're just someone who sells dried herbs," she said. C-Note arrived at the Mexican's place and said, "I'm collecting all the debts I'm owed. I'm taking everything today." So the Mexicans also left to collect debts. When they came back from debt collection, he asked, "How did it go? Did you get everything?" The big guy working in the kitchen said, "There's not a single penny for you. I took everything there was to take. If you're not satisfied, go cry to your white boy gang that you're hanging with." When C-Note started to get aggressive, the kitchen gang gave C-Note a beatdown like they were serving free rice soup for 7 days at a charity house. While Haywire was watching TV, Scofield tried various ways to get his attention and asked him to draw, but the master was still acting all confused. Guard came and said, "Time's up. Let's go," taking Haywire away. Only when they reached the door and Haywire said, "Those are the pathways," did Scofield become happy. When it was time for medication, while drinking the medicine, he saw Haywire enter his cell and follow to check. Inside the cell, he found Haywire vomiting up the pills. Haywire said that, because of the medicine, he couldn't see the pathways to hell. Scofield replied, "No, look at the opposite of those paths." Teabag told the limping C-Note, who was injured and walking bent over, that it was like not being able to withdraw money from the African bank. "We need to use other methods to get money," he replied. D.B. Cooper said there were no outside visitors coming today, so there was no way to get outside money. C-Note said, "Then we have to use the last resort, the poker games in the kitchen. When you find a card up your sleeve during the poker cheats, the knives are on top in the kitchen." Scofield brought Haywire to a cell, gave him a book and pencil. Then Scofield took off his shirt and removed the bandage from his wound. When Haywire said, "Oh no, everything's ruined," Scofield replied, "Yes, that's why I'm asking you to redraw it." "Draw what was there in that place." Haywire said he remembered there were demons there, and drew while muttering to himself. When Sanchez passed by the cell, Scofield said, "Hey Sanchez, come here for a minute. Give Sucre a message. Tell him I'm fine, I'm healthy, I'm filling in the gaps. Then he'll understand," he instructed. When guard Geary asked why he wanted to move cells after living in cell 13 his whole prison life, D.B. Cooper replied, "I'm getting old. A standalone house in the Golden Hills appeared on the market. I want to live somewhere quiet and peaceful." When they got to the cell, he looked around and casually picked up a small black book, offering to pay about $100 for the cell. Geary said, "You're just wasting time, leave." He gave Teabag a $100 bill that was tucked in the book, saying, "My job is done. It's your responsibility to find the money." Teabag said they had money for poker now. "If I go play alone, it'll be too obvious that I'm cheating. You and I will be partners. Every time it's my turn to deal, you go all in," he said. In a phone shop, while buying a phone charging cable and looking at new phones, an old guy came and asked about the situation. "Always keep an eye on Veronica's situation and report to us. Never forget who you're working for," he said and left. Back in the cell, Haywire said, "If you want someone to remember, you have to pay attention, Michael. Now I remember everything. You set me up and sent me here to get back here. And I also remember the tattoo pathways," showing the picture he had drawn. When Scofield asked for the paper, Haywire asked, while tearing up the drawing, "Should I tear it all up, or will you tell me your exact plan? Here's how it is, we'll start from here. Turn right when we get there, turn left, and then back around heading east. When we reach the east, we'll go down and around in a circle. Then we'll reach the infirmary and leave from there," Scofield said calmly while asking for the drawing paper. In Fox River's kitchen, they were broadcasting live the biggest poker game in the world for the visiting inmates. While I was presenting, Teabag and Sucre's crew were already playing well. They were playing 5-card stud in the middle with increasing stakes. Winner takes all. There's no profit, just watching. You only benefit if you bet. Guys, sorry about that. We don't accept gambling advertisements. I forgot. Paul Kellerman and Vice President Caroline were consulting in the office about staying away from Samantha's side. And if Lincoln wasn't dead yet, the people who would be hurt wouldn't be the company, but just you and me. They were playing poker really well, but on the final round, unfortunately Teabag accidentally flipped a card while dealing, so everyone demanded a new card. Teabag had no choice but to give C-Note a new card. The cards were in sequence 6, 7, 8, 9, but when the card flipped, they got a straight flush, and the guy sitting at the top of the circle, Miguel, owned everything. Everyone went all in. C-Note was counting the money too. Then Miguel called, and on top of the money he put in, C-Note added another $70. Miguel got tense. C-Note said, "If you want democracy, go to Myanmar. This is Brazil," and it was Sergeant C-Note who won in the end. Haywire, believing Scofield's diversion story, was caught using a different map to escape from the psych ward. When the alarm sounded, guards came and took Haywire away with electric prods. Pretending to want to make a phone call, he waited for Geary to arrive. When Geary came, he said, "Boss, as discussed here, it's $500," and gave it to him. But Geary, wanting to take everything he could get, said, "I haven't received it all yet. I need another $200. So C-Note came back to DB Cooper and said, "Old man, I can't do it anymore. Give me the locket. Don't miss your daughter's photo. You can see her when you get out." And took the locket and gave it to Geary. But in the dirty place where the two weren't around, Geary said, "Sorry, someone already offered $700. You can't have the cell anymore," and left. Having gotten what he wanted, Michael was also ready to leave the psych ward. When Sarah arrived, he gave her a small gift he had made and said his condition had improved and he could go back to Gen Pop. Sarah said if he really wanted to go back, he had to tell the truth about who burned him. If he didn't tell, the warden would send him back to solitary. "It won't be long before you're back here. If you want me to help you, just tell the warden the truth." Sarah also urged him. Sanchez, who came to collect old clothes, gave Sucre new clothes while telling him the messages Scofield had asked him to pass along. "And I've seen Scofield's back injury. The guard's shirt has a hole that matches it exactly. Whatever happened, tell me about it. If you don't tell me, I won't help you anymore," he said. Sucre replied, "I can't tell you, little brother." From the other cell, Lincoln called Sanchez over. "We're going to work together," he told him. C-Note was getting quite angry, so while eating in the dining hall, he said, "Before I get out of here, I'm going to mess up Geary real good." While DB Cooper was talking about Scofield's sink issue, Sanchez arrived and said, "I can help with Scofield's case." C-Note asked, "Who said we have a problem?" Sanchez said, "Lincoln and Sucre told me everything. I can also follow where you're running to." Teabag got angry and said, "Did Scofield rent an entire train? Are you going to put everyone on it?" And told Sanchez, "Get out before I punch you." But DB Cooper asked, "Do you have another plan?" and made Sanchez tell them everything he knew. Sanchez then told them everything he had discussed with Sucre and Lincoln. According to the discussed plan, Sanchez set fire to something and made burn marks on the guard's shirt. Then, while coming out with a cart, he gently put it in DB Cooper's trash can. While going to the guard's temporary restroom, when there was no one in the room, he took the shirt from the trash and put it in the room. When the warden arrived and asked who did it, Scofield said, "First, promise you'll protect me. The one who did this to me was Geary. If I have to describe his behavior, he extorts money from all the inmates. When he found out I went to college, he started taking my monthly allowance. Finally, when I couldn't pay anymore, he burned me." He explained everything. Looking through the numbers and addresses from the phone they got from the yard, there were so many addresses that both of them were getting confused. While the guards were gathered and resting, the warden came and searched the room. While searching, he found money hidden in shoes. Searching further, he also found DB Cooper's locket. But the best part was that he found the burned shirt that Scofield and the team had planted, just as they had planned. Due to the conspiracy of Scofield, Lincoln, DB Cooper, and Sanchez, Geary, who had been extorting money from the inmates, lost his job. When they returned to the original cell number 40, he greeted DB Cooper, who was waiting ready in the cell. When the warden asked him to return the locket, he gave it back, took his daughter's photo from his pocket, put it back in the locket pendant, and DB Cooper left. With the warden's permission, Lincoln went out with armed guards to meet his son. While driving, at one point on the road, a truck crashed into the car Lincoln and his team were in, and the entire car flipped over on the roadside. And that's where episode 18 ends. Since we'll be presenting this series daily, one episode at a time, please like and subscribe to Cinema Essentials channel. To all our supporting audience, the Cinema Essentials family wishes you mental health and physical prosperity. Thank you everyone for watching till the end.